What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jack Bravo, and I'm back. Oh, snap. I bumped my mic. Man, my mic has been having a bunch of issues and everything. Dang, man. I was like, before I even get started, I want to say this. Let me select my stream real quick. I want to show you guys something me and my daughter put together, and my son. We was like working on clothes, and we made this. It says, and if we ever get like big, which I'll get to later, if the channel ever gets big, I said, I really love to like design clothes and see people wearing art. So this is called the Flesh and Blood hoodie, and me and my daughter designed it. I might have to get up and show y'all how cool this is. So it is Ephesians 6:12. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood. And she designed the back and I designed the front. So it's like this mech. And it says it's kind of like a play on we do not wrestle with flesh and blood because these are mechs, evil mechs that you kind of fight in anime. And we did the shoulders. And let me show you the back real quick. Let me see. Oh, look at this. Pants too. So I thought that was pretty cool. She's big into art. She's big into that stuff. So I was like, why not put it? And she designed the character on the back and I just inked it. So that character with all these Japanese words and stuff like that, she did that. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I was like, man, if I ever get big, I would like sell stuff like that. Because I think it's cool to have clothing lines with a biblical base, even though it's getting kind of popular now. I see a lot of like people using religious symbolism to sell their clothing. And I don't like it because they don't really live by it. But on this channel, we encourage people to live by it. All that being said, here's what's almost even more important. And I've always said I don't want to forget where I've come from. A lot of people, and a lot of people, especially like me doing all these shows on influencers and famous people and people with a lot of motion, as the young kids say, a lot of them forget where they came from. They don't, they get big and they'll say things like this. This is how I know. The first time somebody says something they don't like, they go and look at their view count and they say, oh, he's a dude with only 12 subscribers. Who cares what he thinks? At some point, you were small. At some point, nobody knew your name. Nobody knows me. I'm a nobody. Nobody in the middle of nowhere. And we just reached 500 subscribers. And I got to thank God for that because I'm a nobody, but I'm looking to be somebody one day. And I just appreciate that people have respected what I have to say so much that they tune in and they subscribe to this channel. And I can't be thankful enough. Now we're not making any money yet. Hopefully one day we will and we be able to put that back in the channel and keep doing new things. But I just really appreciate that people have been showing love with the comments. People have been showing love by sharing things and subscribing. People have been showing love on the shorts. And I really appreciate it. I don't know all the people, but I feel like I do know them because if you agree with a lot of the things I'm saying, and even if you don't, but you're cordial about it and you can have a argument or you can have a debate or a discussion about it, I resonate with people like that who talk about these type of things and bring it back to what does God have to say about these things? It's not just a gossip channel. It's not just let's look into other people's lives and criticize them. Let's look into Abba and preach and their downfall and laugh at it. No, it's more of God has given us examples, things that we can learn from other people's mistakes. And specifically, man or woman, but specifically men, what can we learn so that we don't make the same mistakes that a lot of these influencers, celebs, politicians do? And it's very humbling to me that people have subscribed. Like people really like it. So I appreciate that, man. Like I am not so big headed that I'm like, yeah, this is only the beginning. It might be the beginning and it might not be. You know what I mean? Like it might be somewhere I don't grow that much. But the fact that I even got up to 500 subscribers means a lot to me. And I know it's people that surpass me by 100 times, and they make so much money that they don't even have to work anymore. That's not me. Somebody was like on one of my shorts. My wife had pointed out, who should listen to this broke YouTuber with no subscribers? I'm like, well, yeah, this is not my only job. I would be kind of sad if it was, because it's like, yo, man, it's really hard to make it on this platform. But the fact that people listen to me and care about what I have to say and actually think that there's some value in listening to what I have to say is a very humbling thing. And I don't want to lose that humility no matter how big I get. I don't want to go into a giant podcast, sit there and be like, yeah, I have 500 million subscribers and you only have 50. That's not the type of person I want to be, man. I want to always remember where I came from. Always be one of those people that I don't care how big I get. Remember that I was a small guy at one point. Remember that God causes the proud to fall and he raises up the humble. So I don't believe in like just having this high and mighty attitude of I've accomplished this and accomplished that, because God can knock you down so quick, man. And that's part of the theme of today. It's like, yo, if you don't confess your sins before the Lord, if you don't have a humility in your heart, if you think you're getting away with things in your past and God is not going to expose those things, you are in for a downfall. One of the reasons I didn't want to discuss a lot of the Orthodox versus, you know, other Christians online is because I'm like, you, I don't want to promote things where we're debating about things where I'm like, we're on the same side. Now, yes, do I disagree with Orthodox on a lot of things? Yes. But we got people who are deleting the whole entire next generation with abortion. We got people who are dancing in the streets naked in front of children. We got people who are promoting little children to do sexual acts and read sexual books. And we over here debating about theosis. It's like, I don't want to do that. Now, I'm looking more into theology and things like that because I want to brush up on that and not be one of those people that don't know what I'm talking about. But the fact that people are arguing about these type of things, dude, I think we're wasting our time. You got Muslims coming into the country with their false beliefs. You got the black Hebrew Israelites growing in power. You got liberalism, you got feminism, you got Satanism and the Epstein files. You got all these different things and we over here fighting each other. It don't make no sense to me. It really don't make no sense. And it's like a fight I'm trying to avoid because the Bible says avoid these random fights about genealogy, church history. Stop that. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to put that type of thing. It's so much evil out there. It's enough to talk about without fighting each other as Christians. You Pentecostal, you with me. You Baptist, which I am Reformed Baptist, you with me. You Catholic, you're with me. You Orthodox, you with me. Let's fight against evil, man. Stop all this petty stuff. If you one of the people that can't stop being petty, then maybe this ain't the channel, but still. And that's part of what we're going over today. The evils of the world. The evils of the world, because these girls is at it. I was going to say a bad word. These whores is at it again. And I don't say that lightly because it's like, man, I don't want to beat people when they down because it seems like the whole universe is coming down on Amy Dangerfield. Who is Amy Dangerfield? Well, first, why don't I trust e-girls? Because I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Why don't I trust e-girls? And Amy Dangerfield is an e-girl. Lauren Southern is an e-girl. Brittany Venti is an e-girl. Why do I not trust them? Well, it's pretty simple. I wrote it down because I was like, why do I feel this? Why do I feel this way? Why does it stay on my mind? Why do I feel this way? And it's because when you pass age of 25, as a woman, a beautiful woman at that, because Lauren Southern, Brittany Venti, Amy Dangerfield, all these influencers, they get to up in age. They get darn near till 30, and you still ain't married? Something is wrong. Straight up. And I know people gonna say, well, that's not always the case. 99% of the times, if you are a gorgeous or pretty or cute girl and you're not married past the age of 25, something is off. And you're talking about trad wife this and conservative value that and what we should do for the future of America. The best thing you can do for America's future is to have children. Let's not play games. And any girl who's out there who's married, who has kids, will tell you the same. She'll tell you the same. The best thing I can do for the future is raise my children. It is the most important thing you can do as a woman. It's not downplay it. It's not, oh, I'm trying to be patriarchal and hold women down. It is a beautiful, powerful thing to raise the next generation, and beautiful, powerful women can do that. I don't want to jump too much into powerful and get into that feminist hear me roar type crap, but I am saying the best and most beautiful thing you can do as a godly woman, as a Christian woman, is be a mother. And when you don't take advantage of that at the height of your beauty, I gotta wonder. When I was looking at Lauren Southern and she got a lot of these people have this in common. They get married, they get divorced. You can't keep it together for 2 years. Marriage shows a character or lack of. I can't trust a woman, a e-girl, who says, I believe we should do this for America, and you ain't married, and you ain't having no kids, and you have numerous opportunities. Lauren Southern, very pretty, numerous opportunities to be married to whoever she wanted, had her pick up the litter from Andrew Tate to Destiny, and she chose them both. She left her husband for that. Brittany Venti, same way, very pretty, mixed girl. What does she do? Live in a messed up house and gossip about people and talk about people's dead children's past. Bringing up dirt on people. Just a terrible human being. She chose to be that. She chose not to be married. See, the thing about men is you got everybody wants to say incel, incel, incel. Yeah, that means involuntarily, meaning they didn't choose that. They would choose a girl if they could, but they can't because either they're socially awkward or whatever. But these girls out here, they're choosing not to be married. They have their pick of the litter when it comes to men. As you can see, Lauren Southern got with Andrew Tate, flew all the way to Romania, wrote about it in her book. She could have any man she wanted, and she chose to be a whore. So it shows a character or lack of when you choose as a woman at the height of your beauty, 25, 26, 27, not to be married. Attention seeking as a job. This is why I don't trust e-girls. If your job is seeking attention, you tend to use whatever you can to get that attention. Tell me if I'm lying. Your job is to be seen. Very few women will not stoop to the low hanging fruit or grasp the low hanging fruit of using their sexuality to get somewhere in life when they know is something that's a platter they can freely offer to get whatever they want. Imagine men. If you had that type of power, women have that type of power. They can be like, yo, I want to ride on a yacht next week. All I got to do is sleep with this guy. And I can ride on a yacht. I want to go to Dubai next week. All I got to do is sleep with so and so and his camel. And I can go on a free month-long trip to Dubai. I want a new car. All I got to do is sleep with this millionaire and make him a sugar. Every pretty woman, even a mid girl, has that option. And this is why when a girl chooses not to have that option and have character and be a godly woman, we ought to lift that woman up. And I'm not saying that lightly because a lot of people say, you just tear women down, patriarchal this and evil, misogynist pig. Listen and hear me clearly. If you are a good woman, a good wife, a good mother, I have nothing but respect for you. In this wicked generation, straight up, if you go through all that and you're beautiful on top of that, if you are an attractive woman and you say, no, I will not sell my body, even though I could. No, I will not go on yacht parties, even though I could. Yo, I'm not going to be up in the club. I'm going to get married. I'm going to start a family. If you say that, you ought to be congratulated. I don't care what the red pill people say. I don't care about what these liberals say. I don't even care about what these conservative boss girls say. You ought to be congratulated for doing things God's way. And we ought to, as men, find women like that and put them up, not the boss babe conservative women. The women who actually sacrifice for the sake of their family, submit to their husbands, and say, I'm going to forsake the world and the love of the world and do what is right before God. Should we not say that? They compromise ethics for attention. And this goes with the other one. Their attention seeking as a job. But they compromise on their ethics for attention. They will do things that other people won't do. How do you know? Because you see it all the time. Go on one of these people's streams. A girl who claims to be conservative will be dancing in the club, twerking that behind for everybody to see. Because they know it gets views and the view count is low this month. Lauren Southern, another. I'm gonna keep bringing her up because she's a terrible example of a Christian trad conservative girl with conservative values. She went, slept with Andrew Tate, wrote about it in her book. Book sales, magic. How that works, isn't it? You'll go to put yourself in compromising situation, compromise on ethics for attention. They will go out, do what Candace Owens does. Will lie and slander people for attention, knowingly tell lies, knowingly slander somebody, knowingly try to ruin somebody's reputation for the sake of attention. It's not a good look for a woman and it's not good. I don't trust the e-girls. I don't trust girls who are on the internet all the time and it's their job and they have nothing to do but get attention and do salacious things for clicks. It is a bad look for a woman. Another reason why I don't trust e-girls. Surrounded by low character people. What do I mean? When you want to get seen as a woman, you put yourself in these situations where you're going to be around people who also want to be seen. You're going to be around people who want to have this Hollywood mentality. You're going to be around people who compromise their ethics and values to do whatever it takes to get views as well. They won't act in a godly fashion. They won't have character values and ethics. They will do whatever it takes to get that next views at your expense if they have to. Look at Neon. Remember we had his girl and he had his girl at the gas station. She was acting a fool. That gets clicks. Hanging around people with bad character gets clicks. So you're gonna put your woman, especially if you're interested in a woman, you're gonna have your woman go out there or be surrounded by these people with terrible character, and she's just supposed to be around them and expect nothing to happen, expect to come out totally clean. They will destroy her. Women are far more social than men, meaning they care about their group. They are like their group. One thing I've heard said, and one thing is true. You can tell a woman by the people she's around. If she's around people with low character who seeking attention, she's gonna be doing the same thing. They all in the club having parties, she in the club having parties. They use drugs, she use drugs. They whores, she'll be a whore. And you can't tell me that that's not a pay worthy thing in this generation. They get paid from this. Another reason why I do not trust e-girls. Idolize celebs and influencers who can further their career. So they're going to be around and they have to be around people that further their career. It's part of the job. For a man, it's like, yo, I got to earn my spot in there. But what do they expect from the women around? If Andrew Tate got 10 girls around, 9 of them is going to be sleeping with him. You can be sure of that. Why would he have them around otherwise? So if your girl go into a yacht party and she says, "This is so great for my career," what are these men gonna be expecting the girls on the yacht party to do? They're gonna be busting it wide open, and you know it. You know it. Some of us have had crazy lifestyles and seen some of this stuff. Now I can't say I've had a crazy lifestyle, but I have been around parties. I have been where I've had celebrity friends and been on been in nightclubs and see what's going on. I've seen it. A lot of people have seen it. And you see what these girls are willing to do. You like, yo, y'all was in the bathroom for 15 minutes and she did what? That's wild, man. Like, that's not an environment you want a trusted, good woman of character to be around. So, who is Amy Dangerfield? We're going to give her a fair crack. Well, I'm not going to say any. I might want to choose my words differently. We're not going to crack her. She's done that already. We're going to look into who she is. Let's see. Who is this? And I thought this was pretty accurate here. Let me change this. Amy Dangerfield got her start on podcasts like Fresh and Fit and whatever. She stood out from the usual panel of OF stars and Instagram girls by styling herself as the married trad wife who always agreed with the host. Now, this is somebody's personal account, so it's not, take it with a grain of salt. Once she started gaining traction, she became a regular guest on these shows and amassed her own base of followers, which is, you could honestly say, a smart way to go about it. Be the one girl with some common sense on shows like this, and you will stand out. Soon after experiencing a modicum of E fame, she promptly divorced her husband. After the red pill grift dried up, she took notice of Nick Fuentes, his meteoric rise, and brought up the dip on an emergent subset of his fan base, a small but notable group of female followers who dubbed themselves the Groipettes. You know, his followers are called Groipers. Amy quickly put on the blue AF cap and began referring to herself retroactively as the original Groipette. We are seeing the accumulation of this latest grift play out today. Start the clock on impending Lauren Southern, Ashley St. Clair style crash out and rebrand once this ploy fails miserably and the Groipers rightfully disown her. That's what they think is going to happen. So let's look and see what they have to say.
Ask the Aussie girl to clear the rumors up about her stealing money from her ex and running away.
I debated whether or not I actually wanted to feature this one, but this has been a recurring thing. People who don't even know me, who, followed me on Instagram and my ex-husband on Instagram back in the day, making assertions, and those assertions are that I actually got married to him to get a green card, and once I had that green card, I then proceeded to divorce him and leave him. I would never disparage any of my ex-partners publicly, so I'm not going to get into the finer details, but basically we met in Australia, dated for 9 months. He asked me to move to Hawaii with him, and shortly after being there, he proposed. We began the legal process for me getting my green card, and during the period of that time, that marriage did not work out.
Ask the Aussie girl to clear the...
Now, I will say this, and I must say this, that doesn't sound very legitimate to me. To get married, get your green card, and get up out of there. It just don't sound legitimate. Now, other people can believe that and believe that they just didn't work out. But my question is, okay, you come over here and you have these conservative values and you spout all this conservative stuff. Why couldn't you make a marriage work for longer than 2 years? What conservative values do you really hold? Did you vet this man properly? If you didn't, that's a problem in itself. You gotta question these things because nobody else does. They just take everything at face value. Let me show you guys who she is. So she's Australian born. You can hear that in her voice. Commentator, media personality, became known through appearance online, debates, and commentary spaces. She covered controversial cultural world topics dating dynamics, and internet personalities. She has a background in photography, media, and working according to public profiles for photos. Here's her. This is what she looks like. She's not ugly, a little bit skinny for me, but very, very, you know, cute in the face. So here's some of her takes. And you can't say I disagree with a lot of these. I just don't. Let me close this. Here's some of her takes.
Women do not react well to stressful situations, and the media and left-wing politicians are counting on that, and they're weaponizing that.
I'm not repeal the 19th guy.
I kind of am.
Well,
So the amount of right-wing content that is censored versus left-wing content has resulted in radicalization of women. I mean, to me, it makes perfect sense.
Why women? What have you noticed about particular
Women are so emotional, and here's the thing, they play on that. They know that women are emotional. And this is why, controversial take, I don't think that women should be in high positions of power in politics, honestly.
Ask the Aussie.
I don't disagree with a lot of what she said. I don't disagree with it. So I'm just showing like this is how she got big, because she would say things like that in a sea full of OF girls on shows like Fresh and Fit, and it really she made a name for herself. Let's look at some more stuff. We can't just look at the bad, we got to look at the good as well.
So your definition of feminism is men are equal to women, right? Like, do you believe that equal rights should come with equal responsibilities? And if your answer to that is yes, then that means that you should be down for the draft. And if you're not down for the draft, then you do believe in woman supremacy. And if your answer is no, I wouldn't want to be drafted, then you do, by virtue of that, believe in woman supremacy, even if you haven't thought of it that way.
I take it back. I'm not going to war.
So you're not a feminist anymore? Let's go. She's not a feminist anymore, Brian. We red pilled her.
Everything she said there was true. Everything. She was 100% right. So these are the takes that she had, and I can't say I disagree with a lot of them.
Ask the Aussie girl to clear the rumors up about.
Oh, that was the one we previously watched. So what started all this drama? I don't know who's calling me right now, but they pissing me off. What started all this drama? Destiny. He is always at the center of some e-girl drama, ain't he? The man can't keep his mouth shut, and he can't keep his legs closed, and he's always doing some degenerate type stuff. Dude is always at the center. I saw some post saying, Destiny has had sex with all these e-girls that you guys lust after. First of all, ain't nobody lusting after these girls. I'm sure it's a simp out there, but come on now. And first of all, if any girl sleeps with Destiny, she goes down at least 5 points. This dude sucks off other men and puts it on camera. Stop. Lauren Southern went from an 8 to a 3. Just by being romantically involved with this dude. Come on, dude. Like, yuck, Destiny? And people are like, oh, you're just jealous. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. This dude takes it up the bum, and rumor is he has a video out there orally going down on another man. I'm not jealous of any darn thing this man is doing. He can have it. Any girl that's into that type of stuff, no, you're not. That's what y'all want. You can have him. And he was openly a cuck. Come on. That's the type of dude. If you got to be a dude like that, I'd rather be an incel. I'm not going to lie. Now, I've been married for darn near 20 years. But I'm just saying, people call me incel anytime I make a comment on anything that has to do with females. I'd rather be an incel. Come on now. Like, y'all got to have some respect for yourself. This man is, ugh. He's like the epitome of like what it means to drink gallons of soy per hour. So, this is how the nonsense started.
The thing that
Okay, what's this?
by the way, the thing that that Jasmine and Lauren were texting Amy that I had like told everybody that I hadn't. Lauren was what I told everybody was the fact that Amy fucked Sneako like the second time they met. Just so you know, in case you're curious what kind of person this is. I guess if all of this stuff is just fair game, that was like the drama leak shit or whatever a long time ago that they had accused me of spreading, and I hadn't, but now I have.
Destiny, how you been, bro? Destiny, been a long time. I'm still blocked. What is this, bro? What is this? Seriously? Seriously?
So there you go. The whole internet knows. So what a disgusting fucking piece of shit. Like, okay, have fun.
How was that? The Matrix has attacked me. The Matrix, you see, this is a coordinated attack. Coordinated effort. You're saying holy meat watch? Come on, bro. Come on. Bro, who posted this? Oh, I did. Okay, what's this?
Let me tell y'all something. What did you notice? What did you notice about that? He didn't deny it. He didn't deny it. Holy meat watch. Come on, bro. Destiny, I'm still blocked, man. Yeah, you got exposed there because let me tell you something about this little Sneako guy. And we did a stream before, and I did it with a friend of mine, and we talked about Sneako for a little bit. Sneako is very smart. Sneako is not stupid. He, in fact, I would say, man, I wish he would go into making films because the dude is like really, really good at that. Documentaries and stuff like that. He's great at that. He's not dumb. This is what I will say, though. He jumps from theme to theme, and the theme he jumped with was the wrong one. When he chose to become a Muslim, instead of serving the true and living God, Jesus Christ, instead of serving the true and the living God, the only God, he chose to be a Muslim. Why? I got some speculations why. I believe Sneako chose that route because he was like, how can I be a degenerate and have multiple women and still be religious and have some morals? That's what I believe. Other people did the same thing. Andrew Tate did the same thing. I'm a Muslim now. Didn't even look into it. Forgot you can't smoke, can't drink, can't do other things like listen to music. All types of rules and regulation. Got to pray 5 times a day towards Mecca. You got to do all these weird things and touch cubes and squares and forgot about all that, didn't you? So Muslim, the thing about Sneako is he tried to dive head first into being a Muslim. He dove head first into that nonsense. And he still had one foot in this secularist, wild lifestyle. How do I know? I'm going to tell you how. When he was going through his beef with Fresh and Fit, Fresh was like, yo, Sneako, you claiming to be a Muslim, and I got all this dirt on you. You might want to close your mouth. You go out to the clubs with me every other night. He's been out to the clubs all the time. And the thing about it is, Muslims are not supposed to drink. Muslims are not supposed to do a lot. They got way more stringent rules than Christians do. Way more stringent rules. So when he was doing his thing, other people was there, but he was telling them not to film because he didn't want to ruin his reputation of being a Muslim and have people expose the fact that he was a fake Muslim. And I really do believe that. Like, dude is not real. He's over here when he said, oh, this girl happened 3 years ago. He was claiming to be a Muslim back then. This is not a recent thing. He's been having all type of Muslim apologetics on his show and everything. He was doing this stuff while claiming to be a Muslim. So let's just go into more detail here because It don't stop there. If that was just one accusation, it'd be one thing. So the Destiny info leaks. Destiny made personal claims on stream. A viral clip spread mid-May where Destiny reported he brought up past alleged private relationship drama involving Amy Dangerfield and Sneako during a live stream. This pushed her name into streamer drama circles very quickly. Sneako responded publicly. And we'll go over some of this. Sneako reportedly addressed the claims on stream, dismissing the controversy and framing it as drama. Attacks rather than something meaningful. Oh, this is attack from the Matrix. No, buddy, you did this. Xena, Sneako's ex. We're gonna get into her. Who is this Xena? Xena the witch, as she calls herself. You dated a witch while you were Muslim? An open witch, and you can see she's an open witch, even by some of the necklaces she wears and some of the symbolism. A lot of people don't pay attention to that stuff. I know what that stuff means. She is a open witch who's an OnlyFans creator too, by the way. So she's a whore and a witch. Okay. So Xena, Sneako's ex, escalated things. Reports say Xena joined the drama by posting alleged screenshots and commentary that added fuel to the online speculation. Now the thing I gotta give to Xena though, even though she's a whore, she came with those receipts. Amy herself appeared not to have publicly gone scorched earth. This is why people care. Secondary controversy. We'll get into that. Sneako, what did he say?
What, bro? What?
So he's annoyed now. You can't be bothering Big Sneak with stuff like this. He's above it.
Address the allegations? What, bro? What? Destiny saying that. So what are people saying? They're saying that I slept with a girl 3 years ago. Is that these are the allegations you want me to address? It's a matrix attack, coordinated matrix attack.
Stop, bro. Stop. Look, all you have to do is say, yes, it happened. It would be so much better, Sneako, if you just said, yes, this happened. I made a mistake. It was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. Because the stuff y'all was involved in, my brother, this ain't no Muslim okay stuff. Muslims is not okay with this LGBTQ girls kissing girls stuff. They're not. Even though they have multiple wives, they're not down with that. They're also not down with the drinking and smoking and dancing in the clubs, and they tell their women to dress up like ninjas. So you doing all this stuff is kind of exposing you was not really the Muslim you was claiming to be.
It's not worth speaking about. Who cares, bro?
Who
cares? Like, you know, she's happily married. You know, address.
You always know somebody got caught when they ain't got nothing else to say. She's happily married, and you know, well, no, we don't know, Sneako. Why don't you just tell the truth? The thing is, and this is the other thing. People say, why are you so interested in people's life? Why do you care? Why do you care so much? You put your life out to be public. You making outrageous claims saying that Jesus was a Muslim. I'm a Muslim. Come pray with me. The people in New York that are stopping traffic by praying are doing the right thing. You such a religious leader, but this is your life behind the scenes. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Do not trust anyone who claims one thing and then behind the scenes does another. I'm not hating on him. I said before he's talented at what he does. He's very entertaining to watch. I like watching some of his conversations, but he messed up. And it'd be better if you just admit it, brother. Not my brother, but brother, if you just came out and said, yo, man, yeah, me and her, we had a thing. I had this crazy girlfriend. I shouldn't have never dealt with either of them. That'd be cool. We leave you alone. People would probably leave you alone, but you don't try to be all vague about it. It kind of shows something really did happen because you never once denied it. You never said that never happened. Stop bringing that up. That never happened. You didn't say that. And it does matter And a lot of this is credibility, not just on him, but on her. She came on the scene talking all this trad girl stuff. We need to do this and do this as a country. She was on plenty. I can't show you all the interviews she was on, but she was talking all that trad girl stuff. And she's going to get married and have babies and this and this and that. This is why I don't trust these e-girls, man. The next girl I want to hear that I actually trust has to be married. This is why I like Rachel Wilson. This is why I like some of the people who are married and actually bring their husbands on their show with them and talk about these things. Why? Because they actually have proof behind what they're saying, that they really believe what they say, because they've raised children before. These people want to tell you to be a Muslim, and meanwhile he going to clubs and girls kissing girls. Okay, if you want to be a party dude, then be a party dude. But stop trying to tell me Muslims and the Quran is the right way to go. That ain't how you living. Let's see. So, who is this Xena person? For those who don't know, be glad you don't know, because I went to her page and that was a great mistake. Because all she doing on there is twerking and trying to show her butthole in all different type of ways to get people to subscribe to her OnlyFans. I don't even know if she has an OnlyFans, but she definitely fits the type. Young girl. She seems either Hispanic or Native American, something like that. Taking advantage of her youth and her beauty. And just being, basically, the typical whore online. Who is Xena? Xena. Commonly known as Xena the Feminist or Xena the Witch. She's an online content creator, internet personality known for red pill relationships, live streams, debate ecosystem. She was known for her appearance in relationships, dating debates, connection to the manosphere. Here's how she was known, y'all. Let's just cut through the chase. She was on Fresh and Fit. She used to come on Fresh and Fit as a guest, and then she started working for Fresh and Fit as one of their background people. The people that would like set up the show and do stuff like that. That's how she got known. People noticed her because she was attractive. She went off, tried to do her own thing. I think she started her OnlyFans in the midst of that, because I remember them on Fresh and Fit making fun of her for that. I think I don't know if she got a kid or not, but she got a wild lifestyle. She was always messy, always in some drama, always doing something. And this is kind of the people you're around when you're in this realm, when you're in this media nonsense. And then after she left Fresh and Fit, she started her own thing, right? And then she started dating Sneako. She had other weird relationships and stuff, but who cares about that? This is who she is. Why do people know her? Her association with Sneako, crossover into Fresh and Fit. She had controversial relationship drama that played out publicly. She was always second thing public. This is another thing you got to be careful of these people. If you are around these people, everything you do will come into the light, because the moment they're down on views, the moment they need something to talk about, you will be on the plate. You'll be next up to be served. She did a feminist branding twist where she wasn't really a feminist, but she was hating on feminism. All right. So Xena, what did she do? She exposed the loose behavior that happened with Amy Dangerfield. Let's look and see some of the stuff I'm going to be watching for the first time.
Sneako had probably like 4 or 5 threesomes. And so, yeah, I like to get, me and Sneako had probably like 4 or 5 threesomes. And there's other women that are now married and in relationships that, we were trashing the fuck out in the bedroom, that are red pill conservatives, that are lying to their husbands as if they're these trad wives. They're grifting this whole, okay, what happened is why I first ever said anything about the threesome with Amy was because she snaked Destiny when Destiny was putting her on, helping her even get out in the industry in the first place. The whole Groyper red pill scene she wanted to get in, Destiny was putting her on, and she just randomly started snaking him when, number one, over Pixie, when she didn't even like Pixie. They talked shit about each other. They didn't even like each other. She wanted to move the fuck away from them, and she didn't like Lauren either. They were all beefing secretly. They were all beefing with each other secretly. I have all those messages. They were telling me about it. Oh, they hate each other, da da da. These bitches were catty ass hoes. They weren't fucking friends.
All of y'all.
They were talking
Look,
about who.
let me put it this way. All of them are trash. All of them catty. All of them getting the drama. You can't trust any of them, including her. Now, she's putting out these receipts, and the thing about it is she's exposing a lot of stuff about Amy Dangerfield, but they all trash. They all sleeping around with each other. Destiny's a piece of trash, too. Destiny and the Pixie situation was trashy. All of them are garbage. None of them deserve any fan base. None of them deserve people looking up to them. Let's be real.
Who's dirty, who leaves the apartment a mess, because they all lived together at one point. And they were trashing each other, and I was just like, wow. And that's why I distanced myself, and I continue to be friends with Destiny, because Destiny never snakes me. Destiny's always been a real-ass motherfucker. Destiny is my friend. So this bitch made a fucking YouTube talking shit about Destiny, trying to do a fucking smear campaign on Destiny when everybody was jumping on Destiny's dick, talking shit. And that's why I exposed it. Because it was like, okay, I don't really give a fuck to put people's business out there. But bitch, now you coming for my fucking friend? Bitch, I'm gonna put your business out there because you married that nigga and you've been lying to that nigga. And let me tell you when me and Sneako fucked this hoe. It was all.
Before we get into that, just listen to the character of this young lady. F that nigga this, hold this. Like, is this the type of woman you would want raising your children? And here's the thing, a lot of men are so stupid, they'll sleep with her because they think she's attractive. But do you want to have this type of chaos around you? This is what you want to bring into your life. Is it worth it? Some weak man will be like, yes, it's totally worth it, dude. I just can't wait. Like, dude, this is the type of horrible human being that you want to raise your children? And all of them are trash. As I said before.
Friend, bitch, I'm gonna put your business out there because you married that nigga and you've been lying to that nigga. And let me tell you when me and Sneako fucked this hoe. It was only 1 week after her and her boyfriend had broken up. 1 week, but you're this trad conservative woman. You talk shit about women on OnlyFans, bitch. You couldn't even wait 2 months. Bitch, at least I wait 2-3 months before I fuck on some new dick. Why'd you start beefing with Amy?
That's kind of gross. But here's the thing. I will say this. I believe what she's saying. As much as I don't like how she's saying it, I believe what she's saying. Why? Because not only does she come with receipts later, but I can just tell when somebody's lying or when they're giving some false truths or trying to expose somebody with something that's not all the way there. I can tell she's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. Why do I know this too? Is because when she exposed it, Sneako didn't deny it. He never once denied anything she said. She's saying it and putting all the business out there, and not one person came out and say that ain't true. You may not like how she's saying it, but people have not come out and said she's lying yet.
Hey, it ain't no beef, listen. But the second she opened her mouth to talk shit about Destiny is when she crossed me. Had that hoe never spoke about Destiny, none of you would know anything about her whore ways. I would never have said anything. But that bitch has some shit to say about Destiny, same as like Pixie. These motherfucking bitches wanted to talk shit about my friend, so I'm a down ass bitch. I don't give a fuck. Destiny has never snaked me. Destiny was very supportive when all the shit was going down with me. Multiple different shit has gone down with me. And Destiny's always been there for me. Always had my fucking back. Never been a weirdo. Never even came on to me. Never even tried to fuck me. I'm sure, well, actually one time in the chat I was like, oh, fuck Destiny. He was like, nah, Xena. I like crazy women, but you're too crazy. I don't know if he ever...
Dang, if you too crazy for Destiny, something is wrong. Because that man has sex with men. He will take it up the butt, but he won't deal with you. That's a super red flag.
would. But either way, like, Destiny's a great man. I don't give a fuck what none of you people say. I fuck with Destiny. I will always fuck with Destiny. So yeah, if you're being weird and you're snaking that man when he's, mind you, he put these bitches on. He gave these people a fucking platform. He put these bitches on. And then they want to snake him because everybody else was doing it. You wanted to jump on the bandwagon. So you a bandwagon bitch. You a hive mind mentality bitch. You don't think for your fucking self. You're a grifter. You're a liar. And you don't think for yourself. I can't fuck with that. So it's not beef. It's just me calling it out. It's just me clocking it. It's just me, you know, being a real ass bitch. I don't know. It's not beef. So yeah, I like to get me and.
So as you guys can see, this is her exposing what's going on. And let's just break down what she said happened. She says that while she was with Sneako, and this is it's bad on Sneako's part and Amy, because both of their characters being tarnished here. Sneako, the great Muslim, and Amy, the conservative trad girl, they both being tarnished. And this is why it's such a big deal, because a lot of people with big names is being drawn into this. Other people will be drawn into it too as well. So, but she's exposing them, and what she's saying is, when she was with Sneako, they both had a threesome with Amy Dangerfield. Not even a week after her breakup of her first marriage. That's really bad. That's pretty bad. You on these shows talking about you a trad wife and you over here having threesomes with a witch and a Muslim? Remind me of them coexist signs. Everybody's invited. Let's look and see what else she has to say.
That bitch fucked 4 people after her breakup. 4! Since I met her on Fresh and Fit. 4! No. Yes, 4. But she's a trad wife, and they were only broken up for a week. On top of that, here's another juicy thing. One of the niggas that she was fucking, she brought her current husband around. Does he know they were fucking? Because why are you hanging around a nigga you fucked with your husband? Are you a cuck? Are you aware that they were fucking? If you are aware and you're like, you know what, it's cool, it's business. Okay, cool.
No, that's bad, because this is why your past does matter, young ladies. Anybody out there who's listening to this, your past does matter. I'm telling you, the reason why I don't care to hear anything Lauren Southerns has to say about anything in life is because she had sex with Destiny. And he's a person who hates conservatism and say they deserve to die for going to Trump rallies. I don't want to hear anything she has to say. It's a definition of sleeping with the enemy. And for people like Amy Dangerfield, who's talking about trad wife this and trad wife that, and I came on these shows to really show, to destroy feminism and women shouldn't vote and all this stuff. You have to live that out. That has to come from somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes from somewhere, it should, and ideally, it should come from your ethics that come from God, biblical values. If it does come from biblical values, which is what conservatism used to be all about, if it comes from biblical values, then you ought yourself, if you believe those things, faith without works is dead, as it talks about in James. You cannot, as it talks about in 1 John, claim you are walking in the light and do not obey the commandments of God. So you cannot sit up here and say my ethics come from Christianity and conservative values that come derived from Christianity, but yet my life doesn't reflect anything like that. It does matter. Your past does matter. Now, if you say, I repented of those things, right? Which I'm sure these people will, oh, that's how I used to live. That's how I used to be. Then you shouldn't be in the public sphere talking about things or have proof that you were talking about these things while you were living that dirty, disgusting lifestyle. If that was your past, then why were you still talking about conservative values back then, and now you're being exposed, and you was getting all the money from it, you was getting all the attention from it, you was going on all these shows from what you said, but yet people expose your lifestyle, and it doesn't match up with your values. That is a problem. And don't let anybody tell you you shouldn't point that out because everybody got a pass. No, everybody doesn't. People who are fake have a pass. People who don't believe what they actually say have a pass. Like I said before, you're not going to dig in my past and find a bunch of baby mamas and me sleeping around and messing around on my wife because I actually believe what I say. And darn well, like, the thing that bothers me is there's not enough men out there who can say that, so I got to say it. I'm not using that as a pride thing. I'm using that as test me then. Come see if I believe what I say. Come see if I minister to people with need. Come see if I father children that are not mine. And what I mean by that is when people come into my church and they're single women and they need somebody to teach their son, I will do it. When you need somebody to go out and help people that are poor, I will do it. You need somebody to go and pick up somebody who needs rides, I will do it. You need somebody to teach in church and teach men how to be men, I will do it. My life matches what I say. And a lot of these people want to detach conservatism from Christianity and Christian ethics. Then they wonder, and they don't believe the Bible fully. They just take the little bits and pieces that will get them some internet fame, and they wonder why their life fails. You don't really have the Holy Spirit in you that is required to do these good works. Let's continue.
Whatever. Do you? If you weren't aware, then she's a dirty, disgusting bitch because that's nasty. Because if you and your husband are in these spaces, you're online, you're in this industry, especially red pill, where men and women are targeted the most and, you know, they have to uphold themselves the most. Why the fuck are you bringing your husband around niggas you were fucking?
That's dirty.
And also not having him aware so that the internet can call him a cuck and they can trash on him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, you know what? Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Business? Okay, cool, whatever.
This is actually true, what she's saying, but I come from a different perspective. I hate when women say, oh, the past is the past and forgive me and I'm Nala Ray right now and I've turned to God. If you're going to be upfront about exposing your past, be upfront about how humble you are and how much you have to ask your husband for forgiveness. Straight up, I would love to see that from some of these internet whores. You get on a platform, sit down, honestly, get down on your knees and say, please forgive me. I embarrassed you as a man. Now your business is all out there. I put your business out there. I brought you around people I had a sexual relationship with. I embarrassed you. Now it's stories of me doing this and doing that and embarrassing your name. You married me and all this stuff. You didn't know all this stuff was in my past and now it's out there and you still got to deal with me. I am sorry. I apologize. I would love to see more people like that. I would love to see Nala Ray do something like that. Instead of getting on the Daily Wire, Lauren Southern, and talking about how you invented the red pill and manosphere, I would love to see you apologize to your husband for being a whore. I would love to see that. But nope. It's you forgive me, and that's in the past, and I never really claimed to be a trad wife. Yeah, you did. When you tell other people what they should do, you're essentially saying what you should do as well. So don't be coming over here telling people what they should do and what the country should do and what women should do if you ain't doing it.
Bitch, because that's nasty. Because if you and your husband are in these spaces, you're online, you're in this industry, especially red pill, where men and women are targeted the most and, you know, they have to uphold themselves the most. Why the fuck are you bringing your husband around niggas you were fucking? And also not having him aware so that the internet can call him a cuck and they can trash on him.
And they did.
You now represent your husband, bitch, and you look like a fucking fool, so now your husband looks like a fucking fool. Like, what? Bitch, that's your husband. If I'm with a man, I mean, all my boyfriends know everyone I fucked because I tell them, I'll be like, oh, I fucked Pump, or oh, I fucked this guy.
That's something to be proud about. You should be ashamed too. But here's the thing. I'm sad I gotta agree with a witch. She's right. You're an embarrassment to your husband that you did those things. And if you was bringing him around people and didn't tell him, and even if you did, I lose respect for him because why would he ever attach to a woman where you bringing him around and you like, yeah, I banged that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. And by the way, I want to be married within a year. What? No, no. What type of man would put up with that? Crap. What did she say? Oh, well. Should I watch this and see? Because I don't remember it being anything inappropriate. But let me see. I don't want to show y'all. No, it shouldn't be anything. I'm going to show it.
Again, us being gay. From that day, May 17th, you know, us in the club with Amy. And it's me and Amy with Sneako the whole time. Look, I'm making.
So they're in the club. Sneako, the great Muslim. And Amy Dangerfield, the trad woman who says that women should get married and have a bunch of children and has a lot to say about the Jews and all this stuff. I looked at some of her material. And here's the thing. I don't even disagree with like I said before, I don't disagree with a lot of the things she said. But I want people to actually be authentic.
Her dance on me. I'm grabbing her. There's Sneako. There's Sneako eyeing us.
He don't look. That ain't no Muslim look in his eyes. He look. I don't know if it's a bomb exploding right now. That's something else, sir. You look very satisfied.
Because he's like,
there's a jihad in my pants.
There's Xena getting to work, getting my bitches for me. Yeah, because here I am with Amy right there in the red. As you can see, I'm grabbing her up. I'm making her bend over on me. Look, I stood her up. I made her bend over and twerk on me. And here's Sneako watching like the cuck he is. Like, yeah.
I don't know if that's cucking. Let's just be honest. Because a man who can pull two girls at once, the world would never look and say that's a cuck. Now, he did some cuck stuff in the past. It's degenerate for sure. For sure, for sure. It's degenerate. But it's not a cuck.
Xena about to get me some pussy tonight. And sure thing. And then he got caught. And then Chris caught him. He's like, oh, yeah, very Muslim of you. He's like, no, don't record me. No. Don't record me, Chris. Like, I got it all. And here's me and Amy getting gay as fuck in front of Sneako. Y'all forget, like, I have everything. They weren't whores. So I didn't fuck them, but... Oh, here we go again. Us being gay. Here's Sneako. I'm fucking them tonight. Yeah, that's your trad wife for you, by the way. Getting all frisky on me in the club. Yeah, she's mounting me in the club in a skirt from that day.
That's not good. That's not good. This is why I say, like, you got to be careful of what you do. And you not just because other people might videotape it. You could be thinking you're doing it in private, but somebody saw it and it ruins your character. I used to see girls dancing. I remember we used to go out, right? And I used to be, I'm going to expose some of my past. I used to be in this dance crew, right? And we lived in a whole different city, and we were pretty well known, really well known, actually. We were good. And the thing about it, we used to go out and to these dance events. And I got to see what knife life is about because I never drunk. I've never been drunk before in my life. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. So me being around all this stuff, perhaps I shouldn't have been there because I was a Christian back then and married back then too. So I would be out with my friends and going to these dance events, these dance competitions, stuff like that. And seeing some of the things that these girls would do, I was astonished. Like, whoa, he ain't even no celebrity. He's like a B-list celebrity. And you over here doing all types of wild stuff. And I used to think like, yo, some of these girls got men at home that would let them go out to the club and they would be dancing on the bar and dancing on dudes. And sometimes they men would come with them to the club and they would dance on another dude as soon as he left. Dang, I'm debating if I should tell this story. Should I tell this story? Yes, I'm gonna tell it. Once we was at this EDM club, and this club was gigantic in this big city, okay? And this city was known for EDM. This is when EDM was getting at the heights. Electric dance music. And we was in this club, and this club was cool because it was like a warehouse, gigantic warehouse that was turned into a club. And you could hear the bass, boom, 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 you know. And so I went there with my friends, and he was in the same dance crew as I was. And we would have a lot of fun, right? And he brought this girl one time with him. I told my wife, my wife didn't want to go because she was always like, I gotta wake up early tomorrow. So she was like, just go out and have fun, blah, 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 blah. I would go out there. And me and him and a couple other friends that knew my wife, we would go out. And it was cool because we would have, like people would know us or recognize us and they would ask us to like do our little break dancing routines and stuff like that. And so we would go, and this girl, as soon as he was like, oh, just, I got to go to the bathroom. And he left his girl with me. And I was not dancing. I didn't dance with other girls. I was like, nah, man, I'm not. So she was start dancing. She grabbed my hand and she was trying to dance with me. And I was like, no, no, thank you. Trying to be nice, but it's a super loud club, right? And she pulls my hand. So she has my hand like this. And she grabbing it. And I'm like, no, 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 I can't dance. Still married. I wore my ring everywhere. Didn't hide what I was about. No, I can't dance. I'm just here with my friends. We just having fun, right? Which I don't necessarily think is wrong. You can go and have fun, right? So I was like, no, 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 no. After the third time she just started dancing on me. And I was like, no, and I'm backing up like, no. And she's dancing like aggressively backing it up. And I'm like, what are you doing, girl? And she reaches down. This is what she did. She reached down in between her legs and tried to grab my crotch. And I said, no. And I just walked off. Like, this happened in a matter of seconds. So it wasn't like there was a long thing where somebody could say, why was you standing there for 5 minutes? No, it wasn't. It was happening really quick. And she reached out and she tried to grab me in the crotch. And as soon as my friend came back, I took him aside and I said, yo, this is what this girl did. Maybe she's drunk. Maybe something else. I don't know. But this is what she did. And I was thinking, well, how embarrassing. Why, right when your guy leave, you want to put a move on me like that? And I was thinking, like, did you think I was not going to tell him? But I think sometimes a lot of women, they get in the moment, they get in these clubs, they get in the feeling of, I'm just going to have this crazy lifestyle, and they do crazy things that they regret later. Because I definitely told him right then and there. I was like, yo, she wasn't there when I told him, but I put him aside and I was like, yo, this happened, man. He was like, yeah, really? And I was like, yeah, dude. Yes, she did this. I'm not lying to you. If I was sneaky or something, I wouldn't have told you. I'm telling you right now, she did this. And they had just recently dated. So I was like, yo, if you do with this information what you want. Now I left shortly after because I'm like, dude, I don't want to be around these type of people. But that was something that happened. And I'm like, yo, that's how these women get. They get in the feelings. They abide off their feelings so quickly that they do stuff they regret. Now, if I was an evil dude, imagine what would have happened. I could have got her number behind my boy's back and said, oh, yeah, we can meet up sometime. That could happen easily. Now, when you got sneakos and degenerates in the club, that is what happens. That's what happens. They're videotaping you dancing. You talking about your trad wife, and they videotaping you getting loose, twerking and sitting on another girl's lap and making out with other girls. And girls do all types of crazy stuff for attention in clubs. They do all types of crazy stuff. Girls dance on girls for the attention of guys. Let's not lie. They do that all the time. It happens. They're not doing it because they're having fun. They're doing it because they want to look sexy in front of a bunch of guys and have a bunch of guys lust after them in the same way they start OnlyFans. That's why they do it. And so it's easy to see that this happens a lot. I'm sure somebody will take that story and be like, what? Yes.
May 17th, us in the club with.
So that was her story about them being in the club. Here's another one. This is bad because this is supposed to be a woman that's spouting traditional values. And I was kind of wary of showing this, but I'm going to show part of it because this is the type of person that people are listening to and saying, this is a traditional girl. This is a conservative woman. This is a groiper. This is who represents us. This is a person that we want other women to be like. And that's what she doing. I'm not playing that song. So this is her kissing another woman. That's Xena. And that's her with her husband on this side. Why is she doing that? Why? Why are you kissing another woman? Amy Dangerfield claims to be America's first nationalist who has tried to co-opt Nick Fuentes' movement. In reality, she's an Australian-born non-citizen and closeted lesbian who married. See, I don't know if the dude she married is transgender. I don't know about that. But this is the stuff she was doing. Is that cool? Is that cool? And the thing about it is, do I think she's super lesbian? I don't know. But I know that women who do this stuff and to videotape it, they're doing it in the same ways that OnlyFans people do things. They do it for male attention because men get turned on by that type of thing. And that's not good. If that's a part of your character to have done stuff like that, I don't care how drunk you are. If that's a part of your character that it comes out in that way, that you just do gay stuff, that's something you need to confess before the Lord. And that's also something that is you need to recognize about yourself, and perhaps you don't need to be in the public eye. You can't control yourself to where you start making out with another woman for the attention of men. Now, just imagine if somebody found a video of me and I'm just hugging and kissing on another man. Y'all be like, dude, take that channel down. Righteous Edge, righteous what? Get up out of here, dude. Everybody would let me know. But when it comes to lesbian stuff, because men think it's hot, they let it slide. And they shouldn't. It's just as degenerate as homosexual men on men stuff. It's just as gross to God in God's eyes. But yeah, we let it slide. And it shouldn't be. All right, so Xena's receipts with Myron. This is a bad one because in these circles, most of these people go on each other's shows. Nick Fuentes is a friend of Myron. And all these people are in the same circle. So when you, as a woman, has slept with everybody in a certain circle, and then your husband's also trying to be this influencer, that's a very bad look.
You didn't cover up that second name in the leaked text with Amy very well. We all know it's Myron, ha ha ha.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, sure it is. It is. Amy got around. Yeah, it was Myron. Yeah, she fucked Myron.
So now...
Okay.
Now she's exposing that Amy Dangerfield had a relationship with Myron Gaines. And she let it leak. I'm gonna show y'all. So this is what she exposed. This is a text message. Stream worthy. Haha, sounds good. I'll text him back now. Yeah, thanks. Don't tell him you effed Sneako or Myron. I am never going to tell anyone in my entire life. Okay, good. I have to read this because how racist it is. I find people who are racist very funny because it's like the hatred you gotta have in your heart to word something like this. You can't hurt me because I think highly of myself, so you can't hurt. But look at what they said. It has been uncovered that online prostitute Amy Dangerfield has had interracial monkey sex with Sudanese anchor baby Amaru Foodie, which is Fidel or whatever his name is. That's his real name, aka Myron Gaines. Interracial monkey sex? What? interracial and then putting this picture up. Y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong. Yeah, you not funny. I'm only laughing because how crazy it is. It's not right for y'all to say things like that. It's not right for y'all to do things like that. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do it. You know he was wrong when he wrote that. Interracial monkey sex. Maybe my man. Okay, I shouldn't laugh because that's wrong. Racism is wrong. So what happened after that? Did she ever address any of these allegations? Not really well.
The vibe, and why was that?
This is important because, okay, her and her husband have a stream they done together. And he clicks on something on screen and it shows what he had been looking at before the stream. So pay attention here.
Danny, what was the vibe that you were catching there?
Again, as
That's her with another dude. Why would he have that on screen?
she was saying, you know,
He caught himself. That's him, by the way. Why are you looking at her with other dudes or dudes from her past? Why was that on screen? You gotta wonder. This is important too, okay? She addresses this.
Pex, what would you do?
Oh, can we pull up those screenshots? So I wasn't going to bring this up, obviously. It seemed like it's so dumb to address every single little petty allegation that pops up, but people are saying stuff about Zerka, the stream I was on. We did this double date stream with Zerka, Sneako.
Zerka's a degenerate too. He claims to be a Christian. He actually says some things I agree with, but he's a degenerate. He uses drugs. He does all types of crazy stuff. And he sleeps around with multiple women. He sells a online, what is it? I don't know, some type of thing where he teaches men how to talk to women and stuff like that. So he's one of them dudes that, like, why would you ever get on stream with a dude like that? You know he's a degenerate. You know he's gonna say certain things happen even if they didn't. You gotta watch yourself as a young lady. It's your character gonna be ruined, not his. People they want him to sleep with you.
And Melina, who is Destiny's ex-wife, was his wife at the time. And we were having a chat. We go out on the balcony to smoke a cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, by the way. And he comes in and he jokingly zips up a non-zipper on sweatpants. Like, sweatpants don't have zippers, guys. He's obviously trolling. Anyone who is familiar with Zerka's content knows that he is an absolute troll.
Let's see that. Where did it? I know I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Because I thought I had it saved, but it's not on that one. I bet you I can find that because there's some, I was looking into it. Oop, here we go. Looking into it earlier when I was doing my research.
Yeah, okay.
You can keep going that path.
You're gonna love me.
Yeah. So, you have your text.
Oh, that kind of felt nice.
I got you.
And you've got something.
Being flirtatious. Now, here's the thing. She wasn't with her husband at the time, so I'm not trying to paint this as she was cheating on her husband. But being on stream with these players and these degenerates, first of all, you got Destiny's wife, degenerate, Sneako, degenerate, Zerka, degenerate, and you. And what did I say? Birds of a feather flock together.
Total sexual harassment.
I feel like I was just watching.
And my glass is empty. It's bad.
Where did you park the kangaroo? Fucking crazy. Before we go to bed, you're actually gonna be like, "Can I watch the stream again?" And I'll be like,
Reenact the best parts for me.
Yeah.
Right now. Oh yeah.
"Dude,
Great.
I love us together. We should stream." Exactly.
do it. We were going.
I love us together. He throwing game. He throwing game, and I can't be mad at him. He's a single dude. She's a single woman. Look at the Muslim prince over here. Look at what this dude is wearing. Looking like Saddam insane.
Ditch the
You guys already know each other then?
Ditch the
That's good.
nosebleeds.
Ditch the what?
We gotta ditch the nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds? What does that
We're
mean?
just gonna watch.
These two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and Mel are getting cooked right now.
Yeah. Okay, I wanna know. So how do you guys raise each other up? I'm very curious.
How do we what?
What is the best sort of date? Like, how do we make your guys' date the best
Oh,
ever?
just start chopping it up.
Well, you know what? I have not been on a date.
Okay, he's perfect. Now you just need to like prove to her that you're just perfect in all of those three.
Well, the way I do it is 7 dates, right? Doesn't have to be live. And when we just cuddle, and we don't like do anything.
On stream?
No, sure. Both.
Wait, what?
We can do both. And then when we go to bed together, we won't do anything. Like on contract, it'll say no sex or anything.
We like build like a pillow fort, or we're allowed to spoon?
No, but we can hyper speed bond if we cuddle 7 nights in a row.
I agree. And then we'll be ready for sex.
Yeah. Or we could.
She brought that up. That's a loose woman. She brought that up.
It's crazy to go from a good girl, 4 years dating, living like an adult.
I was like 23 when I started dating him. It's like life is totally different now.
And now you're dating John Zerka.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Wow, she complied. You guys are already a little bit of chemistry.
Australian girls actually love
We
it.
got banter. We got banter.
Australians really find me like
Really?
not
How do you do it?
offensive. No. So
Now here's the thing. Think about this. Her husband has to go back and watch her flirting with all these guys online because she chose to be an influencer, chose to be an e-girl. He has to go back and have people send him little clips of stuff like this where she's obviously flirting. I'm not so naive to think that no woman has ever flirted before she met her husband. That's not what I'm saying. But when you put everything online and you are an e-girl whose job is to get attention, you know you're going to get more views to be flirtatious online, you're going to get stuff like this. You're going to get situations like this where people use it against you, and you're going to see how he uses it against her.
when we're cuddling in bed, we're just gonna watch my favorite streamer, Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. When you cuddle, you're just gonna listen to. You like Nick?
Yeah, I watch him in Destiny streams. They're so like, it's hilarious. Of course. I follow his Telegram.
What? You're on the Telegram?
Base. Are you looking for a Muslim wife? And she
So they go outside and they come back in.
hopefully she would just give up all of her aspirations. Like I think she tutors kids and stuff like that and teaches kids. That's fine.
And he pretends to zip up his zipper. No, we know what that means. Now, obviously, there's no zipper on his pants. He's wearing jogging pants, like she said. But the implication is that they went outside and did some sexual activity. And this is what happens when you go on stream with degenerate dudes. They gonna make jokes. They're gonna imply things happen that never happened. This is how they get their money. And you was making sexual flirtatious jokes back and forth, knowing you're on stream, knowing thousands of people are watching. This is what they do. This is nothing new.
But that's not like
You
the
want her to
reason
give
that I
up
like her.
everything?
Huh?
You want her to
Yeah.
give up?
Now he looking all like something happened, even if it didn't happen. It looks like something happened. And you must stay away from the appearance of evil. So what does she say? Because that's a situation she was referring to.
And so when I saw everybody recirculating this clip, I had considered, you know, maybe I should text him and be like, hey, can you please like disperse these rumors? They're really dumb.
Why would he?
Obviously, we both know that didn't happen. I ended up deciding against it because you can't respond to every single petty allegation that's made. And I don't necessarily want to ask other people to get involved as well because it's not their fault that I'm being attacked by a bunch of crazy people online, right?
You one of the crazy
but
ones
then
too.
he literally comes out the next day and he makes a tweet that says, I'm not sure if you can pull this up, Danny. I texted it to you. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. It's pretty.
He's not happy because ain't that her husband, her current husband? So he has to filter through all the nonsense she's done in the past. All the nonsense she's done he now has to help her explain it away. Not a good look and not a good feeling as a man. Hey, you know that horror stuff my wife was involved in? She wasn't really as bad as you guys think. Let me show you. Yeah. Oh man, that's she is kind of flirtatious, but she didn't really do everything that he said she did. I mean, it was off camera, so we don't really know, but she doesn't. I believe her. I believe her.
Pretty silly, but yeah.
He says, I did not have sexual relations with Amy Dangerfield.
Now, obviously, he's playing on the whole Bill Clinton thing, but he did respond to a bunch of tweets saying that it's a no, and it's an obvious no. It's very, very obvious.
Yeah, no, somebody directly asked him if it happened, and he responded no. It would be very easy for him to reply yes, had it been true. He is a trollster, he's a jokester. He would take no issue at insulting or embarrassing somebody. But one thing that I can say about Zerka is, even though he is a little bit over the top with his humor and a little bit absurdist sometimes, he is honest. Like, he is an honest person. At least that's my experience with him. So I was grateful to see that he posted that. I did send him a text and say, you know, thank you for saying that. You didn't need to.
Still got his number?
They're not going to believe you anyway because they are absolutely committed to hating on me.
You must stay away even from the appearance of evil. This is why it's destroying your husband's reputation to have to go back and disprove all these rumors.
But regardless, I'm grateful and God bless. So that was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice, I guess. Her responses.
Why talk about everyone else and not yourself? Who's perfect? All right, Mr. Alleged. Let's talk about that then. Let's go ahead and talk about that, because you know what else I'm sick of? I'm so sick of the damn purity tests. I respect people who wear their flaws on their sleeves. So let me spell it out for anybody who's confused or who thinks that I'm a part of some type of a trad grift. I'm not perfect, and I have never claimed to be. Not once. If you're new here, which maybe you are, okay? I've gone on many shows and I've espoused many times that I am the least perfect person. I don't even think that I deserve my fiance for how incredible and Christ-like he is, okay? And when I go on shows like Fresh and Fit or the whatever podcast, and I say that I'm saving myself for marriage with him now, which was his request, by the way, not mine. Again, he's leading me spiritually. It's because this is the first Christ-like relationship that I've ever been in.
That's good for him. Now, and let me clarify this. It's good that he's leading spiritually, and it's good that he's the one making sure that the family is going in a direction where you can honestly say, listen, this man is a spiritual leader of his home, and he's not letting all types of nonsense go on that's he probably has in the past. But my question is, were you vetted properly to make sure he knew all these things were exposed in the past? Did he rush into a relationship simply because he thought you were hot, or did he vet you properly with the church, with the people of God, with friends that are Christians, to ask you the difficult questions of what now you were online before? First of all, here's some questions I would ask as a spiritual leader myself before I would ever recommend marriage to people in this situation. Why did your first marriage fail? Give me everything you did wrong to contribute to that first marriage failing. Tell me, give me some, not I loved him too much or not we just didn't get along. Give me some negative things you did to contribute to the two becoming one flesh before God and you ripping that apart. Tell me. That's one. Second thing, why did you do all the slut stuff you did before? Were you not a Christian then? And if you weren't, what about your character caused you to fall into that? Because I was going to show you guys one. She did a photo shoot, right? And I can't even show it because her whole butt is out. What little butt it is. But she was wearing a swimsuit, typical swimsuit. That everybody be wearing, which is not modest in the least. Lucky for her, she's not built like that. But she was in a swimsuit video or something, and she was just, her whole butt was out, and she was just posing with other women, and it was very sexual. That stuff is out there now. I would ask, why did you do stuff like that? Why did you do stuff like? And then thirdly, I would ask, what is the body count that you have, especially with people in our circle? And here's the question that I would have. Here's the question I would ask him. Can you deal with all that? Straight up. Can you as a man deal with that? What man can deal with all that? You putting your booty all out there on the swimsuit shots. When you're taking pictures of you yourself and right up in your cheeks, swimsuit. Video shoot. You doing that. You flirting with all types of dudes online. People exposing that you slept with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. You brought friends around me that you were sleeping with that I probably didn't know about. You were making out with a woman in a lesbian type situation. What the heck? As a man, or can you deal with all that? And I'm not saying you can't, because maybe God is telling you, yo, she's repentant. Maybe, like, couldn't be me, but I'm just saying, maybe God is telling you, yo, she repented from all that. But one way I would know that she hadn't repented of all that, and this is sad, is if that stuff came out later and she kept it a secret from you. Because as a man, you're living in a way where you're saying you're going to be pure before marriage. If she kept that stuff a secret, then she is more concerned about how she looks than being obedient before God and confessing her sins to her husband, which, yes, she should do. If he's going to be taking care of you and having children with you and making you the mother of his children, you ought to confess your sins and say, this is where I messed up. You either take it or leave it. Not in a prideful way, but listen, if you can't handle it, I understand, because I had a messed up past. She said she don't deserve her husband. Cool. Now, let me ask, can he deal with all that? Because this is some wild stuff. This ain't no small thing. You making out with other ones. You involved in homosexuality. You in the club twerking and having threesomes. You know, because those are two separate things. Lesbianism, where she was kissing Xena, all in the mouth. Then the threesome thing is bringing another man in that situation. A Muslim man at that, and a witch at that. So it's like all these situations, like, yo, what's going on here? And did you ever explain any of those things? And then let's not even take in the aspect of, you have been telling people to go down this conservative route, and you're a groyper and the best thing for America and all this stuff, and getting on all these debates. And this is what you're doing behind the scenes? Nah, man. No, that's not cool. You need to sit your punk butt down, get out of the spotlight, and humble yourself. Go to church, read the word of God in silence, get out of the online sphere, learn how to raise your children in silence, get out of being on shows. You don't need to be speaking. You need to be quiet and learn in the background. And if any women don't like that I'm saying that, you're stupid, because that's exactly what the word of God says to do. Women need to learn from you in a place of humility, silence, and submission. That don't mean you can't say nothing, but if you got a past like this is about time for you to sit down and learn, young lady. You don't need to be telling nobody nothing. Talking about other people, you need to learn before you speak. I said the same thing with Nala Ray. I said the same thing with Lauren Southern. I said the same thing with all of them who want to speak on things and their life is messed up, or they come from past life, or they've been exposed in some way. Shut your mouth. Learn in silence. Get offline. Stop.
Despite identifying as a Christian for most of my life. But
what?
Now that I'm actually pursuing the Bible and trying to prescribe it, like use the prescriptions in it.
Which is good. I'm not mad at you for that.
To actually dictate how I live my life. I can see that before, when I was calling myself a Christian, I was using it, not intentionally, but more so psychologically, to know that I can always repent for my sins and Jesus is still going to love me. But when you stop pursuing his word with all of your heart, you see your sin and you turn away from it.
And that's the sin of pride and also the sin of wanting attention and the sin of selfishness, all involved in being an influencer. You need to get offline if that's the case.
And that's why we're remaining pure now until marriage. Not because I'm a virgin, because I'm not. Okay? Not because I'm some perfect person, because I'm not. You know, life is hard, and it is harder for some people than it is others. But we've all dealt with traumatic situations within our lives. And when you try to lean on your own understanding and you try to solve your problems through your own free will, it never works out well. I can guarantee you that. You're going to stumble. You're going to, either vent through drugs and alcohol, fall into sexual degeneracy, or try to prove yourself to the world. And I can tell you firsthand that it never, ever, ever works out. Okay? There was one perfect human being who is also a God, and his name is Jesus Christ.
True.
And that is the only thing that you can lean on going through these times that's actually going to amount to anything good. So let me just 8-mail myself real quick for everyone who thinks that I am, trad grifting as this perfect Christian, because I've never claimed to do that. And I've said this on.
It's not that you trad grifting as a perfect Christian, it's that some things are not for everyone. Even the Bible says, we're studying Titus. My brother is teaching that. He's been on the show before. If you're going to be a teacher, which you are, if you're an influencer, you need to have a standard of yourself where you're telling other people how to live. You're going on platforms telling women they shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. You ought to have a sense of understanding of maybe I shouldn't be the one telling them to do the same stuff I was just doing 10 minutes ago. Because this stuff came out. You didn't expose it. It came out. This wasn't stuff you knew it was going to come out eventually because you was texting back and forth. You knew this stuff was going to come out, but you didn't expose it beforehand and say, listen, this is what I used to be involved in. You waited until you got exposed. And now you want to tell people, I'm not perfect. Well, yeah, we know you ain't perfect, but are you really the person who's supposed to be speaking on a channel as to what people should do and where the country should be going?
Many shows, but again, for anybody who's brand new here, I swear like a sailor. Okay, I'm Australian. I swear like a sailor. I know I shouldn't do that. It's bad. I shouldn't do it. It's something I'm working on. I have dealt with marijuana addiction. And by the grace of God, I am sober now. Like literally by the grace of God. But that was a crutch that I relied on for a really long time to deal with the pressures and the traumas that I've been through.
Proud of you, but that doesn't mean you need to be on a platform telling other people anything.
Throughout my life, I have not been sexually pure. For the most part, I have only had sex with people who I've been in long-term relationships.
That exposed not to be true. Were you in a relationship with Sneako and Myron and Zerka and all these different people that they say you had sex with? And whatever that other dude's name who just got exposed?
But guess what? I've slipped up on that too.
That's not a slip up. That's a decision. And when you word it in that way, as if you just slipped and fell on somebody's private parts, that's not taking accountability. You lived a whore lifestyle, and you need to admit that. I'm not saying that to just, let's look at you and laugh. But when you've done the stuff that they caught you doing, making out with other women and stuff, this is not a slip up. That's a decision you made.
I'm not perfect by any means, and nobody is. And so if you want to continue throwing your stones from your glass house, you can do it. But honestly, get the fuck out of here, bro. Out of my stream, out of my feed, out of my life. Okay? I've had people in recent times scroll down to the very, very, very bottom of my tag posts on Instagram, which I've now removed, by the way, because I don't want them leveraged against me, not because I'm ashamed, but posting bikini pictures of me online when
you put them out there. This is what happens. This is what happened. You can't tell people not to because you made it available. You have to take what comes with that.
I lived in Surfers Paradise, Australia, and Maui, Hawaii for a total of 8 years. Okay, I basically lived in a bikini, and people are now posting that up as if it's some kind of own against me. I don't care. Come at me, bro. Plus, it's the internet. That's the other thing. Some of you need to go touch grass. None of this is actually real life. The people who actually have real, deep, fulfilling lives, they care about the relationships in their life. They care about the people in their real life, their relationship with God. They don't care about any of this bullshit online. I see it and I laugh, but honestly, it has been getting on my nerves the last few days, not because of anything.
This is what I'm gonna be liking that women do. You cannot have everything. If you're going to be online and get money from being online and have online shows and go on public speaking events, you must take what comes with that. And what comes with that, and I'm prepared for it as well. People gonna dig into your life. People will hate you. People are just going to not like you and try to expose you for things that they find in the past. They will do that. They will do it. Like, come on, they're gonna do that. So you got to take what comes with that. If you don't want to work a regular job and live a quiet life and be a mother that's off the line, and you want to be on the public sphere in front of people, they're going to dig and find out what you've done. And you can't have the good without the bad. You have to take that.
Leveled against me, but because of the people who are just trying to target now any woman online. And again, I understand it. If you're trying to trad grift as this perfect person, maybe that's terrifying for you, but I've never done that. So guess what? I don't care. I don't care. The people who are living like this superficial, like fantastic life on the surface, right? Where they're so perfect and they're so pure. I bet that they feel like shit because deep down they know that they're fucking liars and they're fucking frauds. Dude, at the end of the day,
here's the other thing. Everybody's not a faker and everybody's not a fraud. Some people actually believe what they say. And some people have actually lived a godly life. I'm one of those people. And so when people act like, well, everybody has skeletons in their closet. No, you saying that to make yourself feel better. I'm not mad that she turned to God. I'm not mad that she's repentant. But what does get me upset is everybody wants to be in the spotlight, but they don't want to take what comes with that. And they don't want to do what's necessary. When you submit to God and you say, I leave that lifestyle behind, instead of doing the Nala Ray thing where you still got to show and you still got to be in the public light, it's time to say, I'm going to sit my butt down, raise some children, and be out of the public light. But they don't want to do that. They still want to get paid. They still want to be grifting off of their fan base. I can't say no. I got to be online. I got to be on Instagram. I got to be on TikTok. I got to be on X. How about you delete all that stuff? One thing about Stare Stock that I do agree with, she deleted everything. She ain't been back since. Good. I hope she don't come back. Get your life right. Get your marriage straight. Focus. People put out videos, you shouldn't even see it. You shouldn't even have a social media. I really believe that social media does as much damage to women as pornography does to men. Something about it is addictive to women and they shouldn't have it. My wife does not get on Facebook, Instagram, none of that stuff. Because she already know, like, this is too crazy for me. I can't handle it. And good for her. In the same way that a man doesn't get on adult sites and say, I'm just looking for funny pictures. No, you ain't. It's going to damage you.
we're all imperfect people. Again, to reiterate, there was one perfect person who is also a God, and his name is Jesus Christ. We are all flaws and sins wrapped in skin.
Okay. Sounded good when you wrote it down the first time. But what I don't like is the fakery. That's what I don't like. So, what can we learn from this? And this goes a lot to what do young men need to learn? Proverbs 7, one of my favorite passages. There's so much wisdom in here for young men. Look at what this says and see if you can spot the character flaws here. Look at what it says. For at the window of my house I looked through the lattice, and I seen amongst the simple, I perceived among the youth a young man lacking sense. What does a young man lacking sense do? A man that's stupid, simple-minded, a big dummy. What does he do? Let's read on. passing along the street near her corner, taking the road to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, at the time of night and darkness, and behold, a woman meets him, dressed as a prostitute. So, how does she dress? Nope. Number one, how does she dress? Like a prostitute. Didn't say she was a prostitute, but she dresses like one. That's important to note. That's what I used to do. This is blah, 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 blah. And everybody who dressed like this, you not ought to not look at me. You're dressed like a prostitute. You will be treated like a prostitute. Wily of heart. Wild. She is loud and wayward. Oh my goodness. Can the black community learn from this? The woman you should avoid dresses like a prostitute and is loud and wayward. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. This is telling us what type of women to avoid. If you got to go outside of your culture to find a good wife, you need to leave. I don't care if she black, white, Asian, green, blue. If a woman is loud and wayward and wily of heart, dressed like a prostitute, you ought to avoid her, is what the word of God says. So my question is always, what overcame all these hurdles to where you could marry a woman who had all these things in her past? What? If she has all these attributes that the Bible tells you to avoid, why did you not avoid her? Young man, if you are in a relationship with a girl who has this type of stuff and she's loud, wayward, here's another thing. Her feet do not stay at home. Did I not just say this? What the God? They're all gonna make me freak out. What in the world? The Bible is like, you people say, oh, the Bible was written thousands of years ago, blah, blah, blah. It's talking about these women today. Are you kidding me? Look at what it says. Her feet do not stay at home. She's always in the club. She always on streams. She always out walking the streets. She always doing something else with some new person. She always out to eat. She always got to be seen. Her feet do not stay at home. She's loud, wayward, wily of heart, dressed like a prostitute. Now in the street. Now tell me the Bible ain't true. Go ahead and lie and say it ain't true. Now in the street, now in the market, at every corner she lies in wait. She's looking for somebody. She seizes him and kisses him. With a bold face, she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I paid my vows. Now this is where people miss. You know why? Because what it's saying she's doing is she's pretending that she's innocent, and she's really not. I did these great things. I'm a good person at heart. I'm not one of those wicked women. I had to offer sacrifices, and today I paid my vows. Oh, I'm so innocent until I get exposed. Now I have come to meet you, to seek you eagerly, and I have found you. They have all this desire, all this flirtatious talk. She went and seeked him out. I have spread my couch with coverings and my colored linens from Egypt. So she's talking about, come to my house and see how sexy my bed and stuff is just for you. It's made just for you. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love till the morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. Now, here's the part. Pay attention now. And pay attention and act like this ain't the rap songs and every other thing you see in our generation and the degenerate culture we live in. For my husband is not at home. We can be sexy. We can be sneaky. The type of woman is sneaky. She don't want commitment. She just want to lay with you because she already got a man. My girl got a girlfriend. Chevy look like Whirlwind. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. And guess what? The man is still over there enticed by this. Instead of saying, this woman's a liar, she's a cheater, deceiver, heartbreaker. I want the back in my life, and I'm taking the house, the car, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. Instead of him saying, I'm out of here, he's like, oh, wow, she's got a man, so I don't have to commit to her. She's loose. She said she prepared the stuff just for me. So what did he bring? Or what did her husband do? He took a bag of money with him. A full moon, he will come home. So he's gonna be gone for a long time. Her husband. With much seductive speech, she persuaded him. With her smooth talk, she compels him. Too many men are convinced by smooth talking whores. The Bible warns to stay away from women like this. I don't want to hear your smooth talk. I want to see your life. If you don't live it, this is why I said I don't trust these e-girls. They don't live what they say. They talk a good talk, though. They get in front of everybody, and everything is what you should do and how you should be living, and I'm a trad wife, and I want to have your babies, and this and this and that. But then when it comes down to it, they're leading you into death. I don't trust these girls when they ain't married and they got all these divorces in their past and they done slept with Destiny and slept with Myra and no. Your past matters. Your character is what you have done. You don't get to just erase that and delete it and act like it never happened. It exists. With her smooth talk, she compels him. At once he follows her like an ox goes to the slaughter, as a stag is caught fast, till arrows pierce its liver. As a bird rushes into a snare, it's a trap. All these simp dudes, it's a trap. Oh, she's so hot, man, and she had a past, but she's repented now, man. Nala Ray's so cool, man. I wonder what she would do for me if she did it for all those guys, dude. It's a trap. You let your lust get the best of you, and now you want to act like you her savior because you really just want to sleep with her the same way all these other dudes did. But instead of taking the time to vet that girl properly, you chose to forgo that process, and you're just going to lead her into the light, into the promised land. Not knowing her past because you didn't do your due diligence. He does not know that it will cost him his life. I talk about this in the red, and I say this for everybody. The red pill does not teach this. Liberalism does not teach this. Only Christianity teaches. A man's danger is not that he will become so emotionally attached like a girl would, and it will cause him trauma. A man's danger is that the wrong woman being allowed in his life will ruin his life. It happened to Myron, he had pregnancy scares. It happened to Fresh, he had pregnancy scares. It happened to their enemy. Abba and Preach had pregnancy scares, multiple ones. Every one of these dudes will think they can sleep around, and I'm just going to go out there and spread my seed to the world and find a hot girl and just hit it raw. Every one of them, a woman has come back and ruined their life because a woman that has no character and will sleep with you without no commitment is a woman who doesn't have the character not to ruin your life. You really think you're going to go and fire and be unscathed? Your thing that you should be scared of is not the same thing women will be scared of, that a man will abuse you and have power over you and then just up and leave you. That's not what you're scared of. You're scared that a woman, the way she fights is right, reputation destruction. She will destroy your reputation and make it so that you cannot even feed yourself in the future. And it will behoove you as a young man to look into somebody's past and do the due diligence that the Bible says you should do. This is not my words. This is what the word of God's saying to watch out for. People love to say, you love to shame people. Well, this is the word of God saying watch out for this type of woman. A whole chapter dedicated to it. And now, O son, listen to me and be attentive to words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her path, for many a victim has she laid low, and all her slain are mighty throng, a mighty throng, meaning that weak men fall to her, strong men fall to her. Matter of fact, you want to get to a strong man? Let a beautiful woman come his way. Let me put it this way. The top G, Andrew Tate, giving out all these ways men should be men, he fell to it. Myron Gaines, leader of the Red Pill, he fell to it. Let's even go deeper. Louder with Crowder, married a woman, he fell to it. Let's get even deeper. What is the pastor's name? I forgot. It's plenty of pastors. Fell to wicked women. righteous men in their own right. Like they were good. I really believe they believe what they're saying. Their reputation was destroyed. Ravi Zacharias, reputation destroyed because of a wicked woman. And you can say they were wicked too. Yes, they were. They fell into sin. They decided to make a bad decision and let a woman destroy their life. Every one of them, red pill dudes, Christian dudes. The only people who haven't fallen is those who have listened and taken heed of the voice of the Lord in these passages. It ain't that you just magically become a Christian and then you just exempt from all this. You must walk with God. Day by day, you must walk with him. You're not exempt. Be wary lest you fall next. Lest you fall next, because any man can fall to it. But this is a warning. Let your heart not turn aside to her ways. And then it says, for many victim, all who are slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, death, going down the chambers of death. You need to be, as a man, scared. I was scared that I would messing around in these streets. Luckily, God, I never did that. I never messed around. I got married at a very young age, 22. I never messed around in these streets. And I thank God for keeping me from that, because look at how it destroys a man's reputation. I wouldn't be here today being able to tell you to stay away from these things if I had a past like that. If I was dipping my sausage in every woman that came around, nobody would be able to listen to me with a clear conscience. One of the things they got on Kevin Samuels for, even though I loved his content, even though I love a lot of the red pill content, they say a lot of true stuff. The one thing they got on Kevin Samuels for, he had 2 marriages that were failed, and now he with a girlfriend. And guess what? It was true. It was true. That don't mean everything he said was false. In fact, everything he said was pretty much true. He admitted to that. But I'll tell you this, your reputation as a man precedes you, and your reputation as a woman precedes you. These things matter. You can't just sit up here and say, it don't matter anymore. Yes, it does. Yes. If you're going to tell other people something, you got to be ready for people to dig in your past and bring it up and put it right in your face. Remember when you did this? They always looking for a reason to not believe what you say. They always looking for a reason. You know, the last thing I'll say is I am glad that people choose to repent, that they choose to turn away from their sin. But repentance means something. What I just said, turn away. You don't get to just stay there and reap. Sometimes you got to sacrifice. If you come from a promiscuous lifestyle, a clubbing lifestyle, sometimes the sacrifice you got to make is you don't get to go out anymore. And I mean that. I mean that. You don't get to go out to certain restaurants anymore that's going to provoke that attitude of promiscuity in you. You don't get to go out to clubs no more where other people would. You don't get to go out and party and drink no more like other people do. Once you repent, you recognize I can't engage in that because that came with a certain lifestyle for me that I cannot handle. For men who repent from pornography, you need to take certain actions. You need to say, I can't do certain things. I can't look at certain things. I can't go to this website because I know certain things are on the side and that they're going to tempt me. I can't be on Instagram. I deleted Instagram. Don't I got Instagram? If you see my Instagram, it's super old. I deleted it because there's too much smut on there. As a man, if you're not willing to take these precautions, you need to be honest with yourself and ask, have I really repented? Have I really given my life over to God? Because I'm not even willing to even sacrifice a website, an app. Come on, bro. You know, and the same thing with the women. You want to be a trad wife, you want to get all the fame from that, but what are you willing to sacrifice to obey God? And it has to be the same thing that got you into your sin. The fame. The having fans, the being in front of everybody, the public speaking. You need to sacrifice that stuff. That's not for you anymore. This is another thing, and this is the last thing I'll say. Again, thanks for the 500 subscribers. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I can't say that enough. I really thank you guys for paying attention to what I have to say. The other thing is, I said I was going to be doing a breakdown on Tree of Logic and Lauren Southern in the future. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? These two, Tree of Logic and Lauren Southern, blocked me. I never had one discussion with either of these people. They know that I smell blood in the water, and your boy is coming up, and I think they fear that this little channel like mine will blow up off exposing people like them. How they block me and I'm a nobody? I'm a nobody. Lauren Southern? Never had one conversation with her. Never once. Tree of Logic? Never had one conversation with her. Not even once did we go back in DMs or nothing like that. Never had one conversation with either of them before, but magically when I came on X and said, you know what, I'm going to do a video on them, I got blocked. Which lets me know that they're watching and they're scared. They're scared. Why would you block little old me who ain't saying nothing to you? Kind of makes you wonder. People got something to hide, but it's too late. Once I'm like a hound. Once I'm still working on it. And the reason why I ain't put out nothing recently about them, because I'm taking my time on them. You want to block me and try to hinder me from doing a video that I said I was going to do? Now I'm going to take my time on you, baby. Honey child. Now I'm going to take my time. Shouldn't have done that. Now you made me know that you fear me. And even you say, I don't fear him. I just didn't. No, man, you blocked me when I was a nobody. Once you found out I'm just doing a video on y'all. No, honey child. No, girl. No, I got you now. I know you can't handle what I'm about to bring for y'all. And I can't wait because I'm going to do. If you guys seen my breakdown before, if you want to see one of my breakdowns that I did previously, look at the Witch Talk video. The one that's breaking down Witch Talk, or the one that's breaking down Not So Erudite. Those are two good examples of when I do a breakdown. And let's just say I'm going to be thorough and I'm going to dig into what I know. So if they're going to scrub things off the internet, they better start scrubbing. You better start scrubbing. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and thanks for watching.